Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to this tutorial where we are given a quadratic inequality to find the solution set. We have 2x minus 1 into x plus 2 less than 0. We should take note that less than 0 actually means negative. Okay, so the first thing to find here is what we call the critical points. The critical points. We are going to get the critical points for this expression. We get the critical point of this other expression. To get the critical point, we start with the first expression. We set it equal to 0. All right. Right. So we will take negative 1 that way. It becomes positive 1. And we divide both sides by 2. We have the first critical point to be a half. So our first critical point is a half. Now we get the critical point of this other one. We do the same thing. We set x plus 2 equal to 0. And so when we take this positive 2 this way, it becomes negative 2. So x is equals to negative 2. So our two critical values are a half and negative 2. Now we use the number line. This is negative 2. This is a half. And so we have three zones to test. This zone, and this zone. We test by taking values from each of those zones and see if the product in this expression will give us a negative result. When we have a negative result, then that zone has solution. That zone is a valid zone for solutions. If we don't have negative result, then that zone is not a valid zone for solutions. Okay, let's start with this zone. Let's take a value in this zone. Any value less than negative 2. For example, negative 3. Negative 3 is to the left. It's in this zone. Let's put it in this first expression. So we'll have 2 into minus 1, and then we evaluate. So we'll put negative 3. We'll start with negative 3. 2 multiplied to negative 3 is negative 6. Minus 1 gives us negative 7. All right. Now, over there, we have, where we have x, we put brackets plus 2. So we still use the same choice of negative 3. So we have negative 3 plus 2. That gives us negative 1. Now, this multiplied to that, it means negative 7 multiplied to negative 1. That gives us positive 7. So our result is positive, but we are interested in less than 0. Less than 0 means negative. It means this zone does not carry our solution set. This zone is disqualified. Now we take the next zone from negative 2 to positive half. A good example of a value inside this zone is 0. 0 is inside this zone. Now let us replace x with 0 and see if we get a negative result. All right, so everywhere we have brackets, we put 0. Now we're working with 0. 2 multiplied to 0 is 0. So we're going to have 0 minus 1, and the result is negative 1. Now we take the second expression. In the place of x, we put 0. 0 plus 2 is positive 2. Now we take that result, multiply to this result. Negative 1 multiplied to positive 2. That gives us negative 2. All right, so we obtain a negative result, which ties with our inequality. So this zone is a valid zone for our solution set. Now let's test this other zone. Consider a value here. A value in this zone, for example, 1. 1 is to the right of a half. Let's take the value 1 and test again. We test here and we test there. All right, this expression, this is its own working. All right, so we put 1. 2 multiplied to 1 is 2. 2 minus 1 is positive 1. Okay, we have positive 1 there. Now let's take this other expression and put 1 in the place of x. This is its own evaluation. So we remove that 0, we put 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, positive 3. All right. Now, we now do the multiplication. The result that we had here multiplied to that result. So we say 1 multiplied to 3, right? You have 1 multiplied to 3. That gives us positive 3. And so we have a positive result. But remember, we're interested in a negative result. So this zone is disqualified. So finally, our solution set will be all values from the right of -2 to a half. So solution set will be all real numbers x such that -2 is less than x less than a half. Pay attention. Our solution set will be all real values x such that -2 is less than x, which is less than a half. Okay, that's our solution set. -2 less than x less than a half. All values in this zone will give us this inequality. Will make this inequality valid. Therefore, that is our solution set.